guys, it's Johnny Tech Review. Today I have a quick review for you of this Sigma X9 quadcopter. So this is a pretty interesting quadcopter. Let me show you here. It's not only a quadcopter, but it's also a car. And I'll explain to you how that works in a minute here. So everything that comes in the package you can see here, including the user manual. So this user manual here has some pretty detailed instruction, including how to charge the product, how to use the controller, all the layout and everything. So I'd recommend you read it first before you start playing with the unit. So beside that, you also get a set of extra propeller and a screwdriver. You have 2 batteries. You have a charger, a USB charger, you have the quadcopter itself and the remote control. This remote control here look very similar to me. It's like an X5C controller, and yeah, use 4 battery, very similar, same exact setup pretty much. On this controller here, there's some fake button at the bottom here that doesn't do anything, but all your functionality is up top here, of course. So as far as the batteries, you can see here, this is a 3.7 volt, a 600 milliamp battery, and this battery is kind of had a nice, funky candy side to it. This battery here take about 90 minutes to charge it, and with that 90-minute charge you're getting roughly about 7 to 8 minutes of runtime. So you got 2 batteries, so you can definitely run double the time. Of course, it's not a very long run time. The specifications say it only run for 5 minutes, but it actually run pretty good, 7 or 8 minutes. The sad thing is that it only comes with one of these little charger here, and so you can only charge one at a time. Well, it's kind of disappointing. I have a lot of other Sigma X5C, and I use the same charger, so I'm able to charge them, twice at the same time. But definitely, you need to buy another one of these. No one really want to charge this one at a time, so that's something to keep in mind. I wish they included 2 of these. So here's the quadcopter itself, or I like to call it a carcopter. It's a flying car. So from the look at it here, you can see the yellow blade are the front blade, and this is the rear blade. The blades are pretty small and kind of like medium size, I guess. They're kind of irregular for the size, kind of fat and short. So these wheels here are made out of plastic and they have foam, so they feel very soft. And the unique thing about this quadcopter is that when it's on the ground like this, and you are not using the throttle for flying up, you can go left and right, up and down, just like this to control it. At the bottom you have a battery compartment, of course. I suggest that you go ahead and install this cable first before you put in the battery, because when you put in the battery it's kind of tough to put the cable in. So I do that first, I put it in. Go ahead and close the compartment down, just like this, and then you have a button here that you turn it on, so it's very nice. I do like the unit that has a button to turn on, which is my favorite thing. You have a white light up front and a red light in the back, blinking to let you know it's in syncing mode. And turn this guy on like this. You can see there's the screen, and we can go. It didn't take a second, and then it's ready. And now it's ready. As you can see, the light is solid and it's good to go. So if it's on the ground like this, if you go forward, it will go forward. Go back, it will go backward, as you can see. And it's actually pretty fast. It's kind of fun. Maybe 4 or 5 miles an hour here or so. But on the ground, of course, smooth asphalt or cement ground is the best. But if you have a lot of crappy surface, it's going to be very slow. But yeah, it's kind of fun to go back and forth. You can also turn left and right, as you can see here, as you're doing that. And of course, if you take off, you can see that it take off perfectly fine. But as soon as you take off and you start using your stick, it becomes just like a quadcopter. So yeah, it doesn't turn the wheel anymore, it just becomes a quadcopter. Very interesting. As soon as you drop it on the ground and the throttle is off here, it becomes a car again. So it's kind of fun to just drive real fast and then take off, kind of like an airplane. And when you're coming in for a landing, you can kind of slow down, and as you're dropping off, you can also go forward. It's very interesting and very neat little device. So this small quadcopter here works pretty well for playing outdoor. If you have a lot of wind, it's not going to work too well, but I think anything under 5 miles per hour wind is going to be pretty good. I was playing the other day with one of my friends at work, and yeah, even with a small breeze, it was still able to stand kind of in one place. Kind of drift just a little bit, but you were able to adjust that, and it wasn't an issue at all. It's pretty simple to fly, and I feel like you're flying an X5C, but in a much smaller size. So it's kind of interesting. Very nice quadcopter. Another thing to point out is that this quadcopter does not have camera at all. It's pretty light. I think it can probably pick up a Mobius or an HD cam, so I'm gonna have to find a way to mount that in here. But on that, I mean, it's flat to the ground. When you mount it here, your camera is going to hit the ground, so just be careful with that. But there's no viewing camera or anything like that, so it's a pretty simple unit. So another thing I want to point out is that this quadcopter is able to do 360 flip. All you have to do is just press the flip button, and then it'll just, and you can just use the stick and it will do a flip. So finally, I want to talk about the range of this quadcopter. I'm not sure what it's rated for. I didn't see it on the box or in the menu. Maybe I didn't read it carefully, but in my experience, going over 100 feet was no problem. It's only when I start going past about 150 feet that it become a problem. The other day I was playing around the area. I took off really high. I was probably over 100 feet over the air, and the wind started picking it up, and I was having a hard time bringing it back. Even in the high speed mode, you have two speed, by the way, low and high. And in the high speed mode, I was unable to bring it back. It was drifting up far away, and as it's getting far away, I tried to follow it with a controller, but I lost reception. And during that time, I fell out of the sky and landed on one of my neighbor yard, and I landed on the tree actually, and it was safe because it just hit one of the branches and kind of caught halfway. Sadly, apparently my camera was not rolling during that time. I didn't get that footage. But yeah, expect about 150 feet or so or less. Don't go any further than that, you might lose it. And don't go too high either, because you might run into a windy situation and lose it. So that's pretty much my quick review of this X9 fly car. It's a fun little toy. It's kind of like a car, but you know, it doesn't really go that fast on the ground, but it's just kind of fun to have it just you know, driving out a little bit and take off. It's definitely a different toy compared to some of my other quadcopter, and it's kind of fun to play with. But I hope you showed a little review. I hope you enjoyed your purchase decision, and if you have any question, let me know in the comment below, and as always, stay tuned for future review. Thank you.